Hey everybody, Shawn Holsinger here from HolsingersFlyShop.com. This week's video is completely different than what you're used to. I'm going to throw a couple flies at you this week. This week I'm titling my video 3 Guide Flies That I Can't Live Without. You know I'm a guide, Holsinger's Guide Service. You can go to my website and check that out if you'd like any information about a guided trip with me. But these are 3 flies that are always in my fly box. And I'm going to do a little disclaimer first. Guide flies. What that means is that is a fly that I can tie in 2 minutes, that I can hammer out, that I don't care if a client throws it in a tree and gets lost. I'm out pennies on the dollar, you know, compared to, I'm not going to let a customer fish a Randy Buchanan stone that takes 20 minutes to tie and then he goes and throws it in a tree. I'm cutting a tree down to get that. I've put a lot of time and investment into tying that thing. I'm not going to waste it with a client and have them lose it for me right away. Guide style flies are ones that catch fish really good catching fish, and are easy to tie, that I don't care about losing them. First one of those guide style flies is an egg pattern. You cannot live without an egg pattern, especially here in Central Pennsylvania guiding. They catch fish literally year round. Come to find a new material that I really like. It's from Fooling Mills. And that's what I'm going to tie the first one with. I tie it in a couple different colors, but here you're going to see the first one, the Fooling Mills, the Easy Egg. First up is your egg pattern. Very simple egg, and great material here. That's why I wanted to share this one with you. So let's get into tying it here. For a hook, I like to tie my eggs on a size 16. This is a Holsinger's Fly Shop Jig Hook. For a bead on that 16, I use a 3.0, sometimes a 3.5 if I need a heavy one. But usually with 16, I use a 3.0. That gets me down quick enough. For thread, I'm using some classic wax thread 8/0 Semperfli. This is fluorescent red. Use whatever color you want here, honestly. Just get it started on there. And cut off my tag, and then we're going to put on some easy yarn from Semperfli, or sorry, from Fooling Mills. This is Easy Egg Yarn Mini Pearl, and the color of this one is fluorescent baby pink. I used the natural colors here. I like to use natural colored eggs. I don't like to get real flashy. It's a chenille based thing, so just pull off a couple fibers there, wrap down the inner cord of that, and I don't go too far behind there. You see just like half the hook shank. And then I make 4 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is my egg. And that is all that is to this fly. Make about 3 or 4 wraps to tie it off. Trim my thread. And then whip finish. And I use the orange just to give me a little bit of a color there, give a blood spot color. I get 2 nice little whip finishes and we're done. Whoops. Perfect small little egg. Okay guys, next guide style fly that I fish is a sand Juan Worm. I hate to say it, but for years I didn't fish a sand Juan Worm. And I would have this one client that's been fishing with me for about 8 or 9 years now, and he always fishes one and he always hammers fish. And he says, "Are you fishing them yet? Are you fishing them yet?" This year I finally said, yes, I'm fishing them. And I've been fishing them a lot. I found a new material from Fooling Mills that I really like. It is Super Suede Chenille. You'll see it here in the video, but I mainly tie it in 4 different colors. They are apricot, blood red, and tan, and the one you're going to see here in the video. Super easy to tie, really quick tie, and it catches tons of fish. Here you go. Okay, here you see the sand Juan Worm. Extremely easy to tie. We'll get into tying it. Again, okay, for a hook, I'm using Holsinger's Fly Shop Jig Hook. This is a size 16. The bead on this, what I like to use is a 3.0 for the size 16 hook. And I'm just going to start my thread, which is some Semperfli wax thread. and this is fluorescent red, and I'm just going to wrap that on the hook bend side of the hook, and we're going to position that bead right in the middle of the hook shank there. So I'm going to make a couple wraps in front and then get a couple wraps behind. Just lock that in place. If you see the thread, like there you can see the thread wrapping over it, that's no biggie, the fish don't care. Come back to the bend of the hook, and that's where we're going to tie our material down. This is Fooling Mills. I really like this stuff for these. It's Super Suede Chenille Small, and this one is actually fluorescent light coral. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to set that on top of the hook, make about 3 or 4 wraps, wrap that into place, come back up with my thread and wrap it back up to the eye. And then I'm just going to take and make about 3 wraps behind the bead, go 1 around the bead, oops, and then 3 wraps in front of the bead. And then I'm just going to tie that out on the bend of that hook right there where that hook bends over, and then I can always fold that back and whip finish on the eye. Oops. So just hold my material out of the way, make a whip finish on the eye, and we're all done. You can actually whip finish around the material too, so either way works well. And then just cut our tag off, cut this the length out on the end, and you're good. This is a strong material. There's movement to it, but it also is strong enough that it's wormy like, so it's great stuff. I love it. Okay guys, the last guide style fly that I can't live without is a Perdigon. Perdigons have earned a permanent spot in my box. They imitate nothing, yet they imitate everything. You lift up a rock. I have this conversation with the old school style guys all the time. Lift up a rock, set a Perdigon beside any mayfly nymph that lives under that rock, and it's the exact same profile. Yes, it's a pellet fly, they call it, and it's really meant not to imitate everything, but it's a perfect profile of any mayfly that lives under the rock. And they catch fish. I dry dropper them a lot, but I also do really good tight lining with them. They're great under like a popsicle dry fly. Super easy to tie. I'm going to show you how quick it is to tie. Here again, here you're going to see my Perdigon. Here you see the Gasolina Perdigon. I tied this one on video before, so it's going to be a really quick one. For a hook, again, I'm using a Holsinger Fly Shop Jig Hook. Putting that in the vise, using a silver bead on this one, a 2.5 on this 16 or 18. And for thread, I'm using this is some nano silk, some black nano silk. Starting that on there, wrapping it back towards the bend of the hook to lock my thread into place. And then I'm going to come in with some cocktail yarn fibers for my tail. Just take off about 6 or 8 of those fibers off my feather there. Pinch them all together, set them on top of the hook. Tie them down on top of the hook. They're a little bit long there. So make it proportionate. I don't want it to be longer than the length of the hook shank. I like that length right there. I'm going to tie that off. If you want to, throw 1 wrap underneath, and it'll keep them going straight off your hook. Then we're going to take some Perdigon's body from Hens. This is PBM 30, you see there. It's a black color. Use whatever color you like here. And just wrap that on the side. Smooth out with my thread. I like this Semperfli Nano Silk because it makes a nice thin body, which is what I want. I don't want to build up too much, but I want it to be nice and smooth. And we're going to just wrap this right up the hook shank, right up to the back of that bead. And it's going to, this is meant to look like an oil slick. It's supposed to be the color that it represents. It looks like an oil slick. Cut that off, and how I like to finish it is I like to make the collar on this with some fluorescent red, and I'm just gonna right in behind that bead make a 2 or 3 wraps, and then I'm just gonna whip finish, and this way I keep my collar small, and just do one whip finish on there. That way I keep a nice small collar. And then seal it all with some Solarez bone dry. You can put a wing case on the back of this. I most often do not. I don't feel the need for it. And that's all that's to this simple pertagon. Okay guys, I hope you liked this different video. I threw 3 flies at you this week. 3 flies that should be in every man's box. So every fly fisherman's box, because they just plain catch fish. And for me, being a guide, I use these all the time. If I don't like to fish eggs. If I'm personally fishing, I don't fish eggs unless I just want to see how many fish I can catch that day or something. But if I'm out guiding and I'm trying to teach my clients a new style, eggs and these sand Juan worms are just killer. I catch fish on them all the time with my clients. And that's what my clients come to me for. They come to me to catch fish. They don't come to be particular on what fly they want to use. They just want to catch fish and learn the techniques I'm showing. If you're interested in my guiding service, I mainly cater to Euro nymphing. I have a style of Euro nymphing that I've learned from a couple great Euro nymphers, Gordon Vanderpool, Josh Miller, you know, some really, really good Euro nymphers have taught me a lot over the years, and a couple other guys, you know, from different seminars and things like that. But I've learned the things that I like to do, how I twist what they've showed me that works for me, and I do quite well with that. If you're interested in learning my Euro nymphing technique, please head over to my website at holsingersguideservice.com. You can find all the information about booking a trip with me for next year. The best time to fish, April and May, really early June. This year it's been great with water for June. We had a lot of rain this year, but you know, a lot of seasons we're really hurting on water. So if you really want to get into the prime time of fishing, get a hold of me for April and May. That's when my prime time season is. We catch tons and tons of fish, and I really spend time working with you. I'll go over the whole Euro nymphing, what it means, what if you would catch one of my seminars at one of the shows or something where I break down Euro nymphing. That's what I do out on the stream. Tell you about how Euro nymphing is an umbrella term for a whole lot of different styles, and we're going to go over those different styles. Tight lining, floating the sighter, dry dropper. The more arms to your umbrella, the more coverage you have while you're fishing, the more fish you're going to catch. If you can cover more water while you're fishing, you're going to cover more fish, and hence you're going to catch more fish. So, hope you like this video. It's completely different than my normal style of video, and simple patterns that you need to have in your box. So thanks for watching, guys. Reach out to me at holsingersflyshop@gmail.com if you have any questions or would you like to talk to me about booking a trip. Thanks for watching. Until next week when I bring you another video, I'm Shawn Holsinger.